So, I didn't lose any weight and I even gained some. Does this mean intermittent fasting doesn't work? Well, so yep, this time it worked. First, let us see what I actually ate that caused this drastic change in my weight. First off, you want to know that these are not processed foods. These are foods which I classify under low calorie dense. Foods like popcorn, protein ice cream. And also, when I ate out, I decided to have actually better choices. I did not eat fast food. I ate something called Stuffed, which is basically a Mexican place that sells burritos, kebabs. And I went for a kebab, the lower calorie option, with a ton of vegetables like you saw in the video. And yeah, that kept me full and the calories were low. So the next important question, is any of the weight I lost body fat? Yes, I would say yes, as it's been actually 10 days since I've actually started my diet, and yep, 10 days is definitely a sufficient enough amount of time in my opinion for the weight to appear on the scale. Although yes, not all of my weight loss is from loss of body fat. Most of it is probably from water weight, but there's definitely body fat being lost. The most important way and best way to track the amount of body fat loss would be to see a continuous trend of the weight going down. No matter if you weigh your weight every single week, every day, it's always important to see a total overall trend of the weight going down. It's like how the stock market in the long term always goes up. So in this case for your weight, you really want to see the weight loss slowly going down. Even if it goes up and down, you want it to eventually see it, going in a downward direction. On top of this, I want to share that my strength has not decreased or changed much. This is good when dieting. This is so that I'm eating enough protein, number one, and also number two, my deficit is not too large. If you're eating too big of a deficit, you're gonna lose strength, you're gonna lose muscle, and if you're not eating enough protein, you're gonna end up burning your muscles off instead of the body fat. So yeah, these two factors are very important when dieting. For me personally, the reason I want to lose weight is so when I actually begin competing again, and once all these COVID-19 things get better, I want to start competing and I want to be as close to my weight class as possible. I actually compete in under 70 for under 76 for jiu-jitsu, and I also compete at under 66 and under 70 for my striking bouts. So I really want to be in that 73 to 76 kilo range. Now I'm around 78 to 79, which is a little bit too damn high. So I really want to get down in weight to be closer to my competition weight. Especially if you're on a weight censored sport, you might most probably want to do this. You do not want to balloon up too much and get too far away from your competition weight. I want to note that I'm by no means a strength athlete. I'm not trying to bench 315. I'm not even trying to bench 315. No goals like that. And when you're competing in martial arts, it's really hard to focus so much on strength as you're spending so much time on martial arts and other aspects of your game. However, I did use the bench press as an indicator of strength, and then I'm losing strength or gaining strength throughout this fasting period. This is just an indicator of performance, and it's by no means I'm trying to showcase any feats of strength at all. I mean, I barely have any decent lifts, so that's not really my biggest and most important aspect of my fitness game. I also do not want to freaking go under some fat diet and rush to cut off all the weight a few weeks or months before competition. And when I do that, I'm losing my muscle. Because if a huge calorie deficit, there's no way your body's gonna be able to hold on to that muscle. The best optimal way is to stay in a pretty minimal caloric deficit and slowly lose the weight. This will result in a lesser chance of binge eating and for me to actually keep the weight off in the long run. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I really want to dig into the effectiveness of intermittent fasting for me personally. the biggest takeaway for me for intermittent fasting is I kind of actually kicked my habit of snacking late at night. Most of us actually do tend to snack late at night, and our binges come late at night after we starve ourselves the whole day. And that's also why there's a very huge importance of eating properly throughout the entire day, so you do not actually result in binging at night or eating and snacking excessively. So this time around when I fasted, I did not really feel as hungry as I did during my fasting window. I can attribute that to two factors. Factor number one, I simply got used to it. Honestly, I don't really feel this is the reason. I've done intermittent fasting before and I've starved before. I have not felt as good as I did. Factor number two, I ate better. So when I say I ate better, this simply means that I ate more low-calorie dense foods that helped me feel really full and satiated. So when I felt really full and satiated, this actually extended to the fasting window. So for example, if I stop eating at around 7, I have my last meal at 7, this can actually keep me full until 10. So I do not have to eat until 10, and by the time 10 comes around, I'm going to bed, and it's really the next day, and I'm really close to my next eating window. So staying full really helps you keep on this intermittent fasting way of eating. I did feel the urge to eat at times at night, however this was more so because of habit and just boredom instead of hunger, which is a good sign and way easier to control. If you're starving, it's going to be so hard to force yourself not to eat. If, however, the need to snack at late at night comes from extreme hunger or being really hungry, I would say to really take a look at your diet, as there's a much larger fundamental problem in your diet plan as a whole. So you might most probably need more low-calorie dense foods, or you're simply too low of a body fat for your genetics. Yeah, those are really two big reasons I would say that will be causing those late night hunger pangs. So if you eat more low-calorie dense foods and make yourself feel fuller, you'll most probably not feel as hungry at night, and hence do not need to snack. Skipping out breakfast for me was really of no issue. I drank my black coffee and proceeded to work out. Also, this is another last tip I would have for intermittent fasting. If you do decide to do intermittent fasting, keep yourselves busy. When you're not used to it, you're gonna feel hungry, you want to snack and stuff. But if you keep yourself busy, for example, I get my black coffee in, I go for my workout, and I get work done. By the time the work is done, it's almost time to eat. So I do not have to think about food. So that's a really big tip I got for you guys. If you have problems keeping to intermittent fasting, stay busy during your fasting window, and you won't have much thought about food, and that will be really beneficial for you. Alright guys, so that is all for the video. I hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe. I try to keep this video really short, just get as compact as possible of why I actually really managed to lose the weight this time around. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.